Howdy, everybody. You guys are listening to Around the Felt. I'm your host, Reagan Loescher, here with my partner in crime, Mr. Colin Tong.
Oh, Reagan, I didn't know where the southern accent came from. I don't know if you had that planned or that was just on the spot, but I love it, man.
It's on the spot. Yeah, episode number 53, everybody. We're going to start with a new segment. We're getting into the whole season breakdown. We're going to go division by division like we did before the season, giving predictions. Now we're going to kind of give our season grades, break down all the teams, kind of what they did, and basically what's their big things going into the offseason. So we're going to do the North today, and then next week we're going to do some Super Bowl stuff, and then after the Super Bowl we're going to get into some of the other divisions, but we're like too early to talk Super Bowl. Maybe we'll get a little Pro Bowl in, right? Maybe a little bit. Maybe talk about our picks for who's going to win Dodgeball, right?
You love the Pro Bowl. Yeah, so these grades are based on preseason expectations. Obviously a lot happened throughout the season for each of these teams, so kind of the big picture, how we thought their season went, and outlook for the future, how they should address their offseason, given their cap space, some key free agents that they have, and how to better their team. So, should be a fun series, man. You guys were questioning us. What are you guys going to do after football? Trust me, we got plenty of content coming for you guys. We have a lot planned. No worries, Reagan.
Yeah, and I got a question for all you guys. So I'm at the Knicks game last night, and it got me thinking. So I see this guy. He's sitting in front of me, and the cheerleaders come out, and it's some old dude. And all of a sudden, the cheerleaders come out. He instantly whips out his phone, starts filming them like vertically like this, or horizontally like this. And I'm like, I feel like every time I go to a sporting event, there's always some old dude that pulls out his phone and starts filming the cheerleaders. Like, do you guys ever notice that when you go to like a hockey game, or I guess not hockey, but if you go to a football game or a basketball game?
See, the Giants don't have cheerleaders, so I think they're one of the only teams in the league that doesn't, so I don't see that at Giants games, but when I do go to basketball games, it's not uncommon to see.
I feel like there's always that one old dude, gut popped out, he's like this with his glasses squinting, you see him zooming in to get a better look, then he puts his phone away, and I'm like, oh, so when the game's going on, you don't want to film anything, but as soon as the cheerleaders come out. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I was thinking about it more and more. And it also was funny because we're there, and me and Joe, we're sitting far up in the, like very far up in MSG, probably the worst seats in the house. And the lady comes up to us. And there's also, the seats were so like far up that there's a metal beam in between mine and Joe's seats. So there's like a beam blocking us. And the lady comes up and she's like, can I see your tickets? I'm like, yeah, we're lying about being in the very far up seats. Like, there's no row behind us. We were in the last row in the corner. Yeah. I'm like, but sure. And then also I was charging my phone and she's like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't use the outlets. So basically, my experience at MSG was wild, and that's why we're a football podcast, because, you know, the basketball MSG workers, they put a bad taste in my mouth.
I do know someone from college that would record the cheerleaders, but I'm not going to name names.
Yeah, we know.
You got it.
Just reminded me of that, yeah.
All right, I'll just guess.
I'm not going to name
Walmart,
names.
Max?
No. Not, it's not one of my boys, I'll say that, but I know someone that did.
Okay, was it...
You're never going to guess. You don't know him, but yeah, it's...
Well, let's just go through the followers and see.
Have I met him before?
No.
You said
None of you have met him.
No, you're lying.
Not going to throw anyone under the bus. I'm not lying. I don't lie in this podcast. All right, you want to get into the news?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of news. We got one key piece of news today, and that was the Seahawks giving Mike Macdonald, former Ravens defensive coordinator, a 6-year deal. That stuck out to me. And I saw a Giants guy on Twitter that I respect a lot. He was like, I don't understand why organizations keep giving coaches, rookie head coaches, 6-year contracts. Because it's guaranteed for a coach all the way through. You see so often these franchises hire a coach, and after 2 or 3 years of not seeing the progress they want, they fire him. And then you got to pay off the rest of that contract while you're paying a new coach. Look at the Raiders right now, man. They're still paying Gruden, the 10-year deal, and they're paying Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
And now they got Antonio Pierce. Because you give them these long contracts, it's not like there's, guaranteed money and then not. So if you release them, it frees up cap, and, it's fully guaranteed. So to give a rookie head coach a 6-year deal is pretty substantial.
Yeah, Panthers are in the same boat. I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive they're still paying Rule.
They gave Rule a 6-year deal, and they fired him, midway through the third season?
Well, the thing with Mike Macdonald is he actually is the youngest coach, too. He's only 36, so it might have something to do with the age, and they're like, look, he's a young guy, like, we think he could be our future. But you are right, because it's, you know what, it's a big investment. So you give them like a 3-year deal, it works out well. It's like, all right, now we give you the mega deal when you prove it. But I guess for the coaches, it's like more incentive because obviously they want more longevity.
I get that, but for the Seahawks, like, it makes more sense for the Panthers because they're nowhere near to competing. Where for Seattle, they have a solid roster that can compete now. Like, they should have made the playoffs this year. Like, preseason expectations were to make the playoffs. Now, obviously, Geno Smith's a whole nother story, but there's talent there.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can be bad for 2 or 3 years. He's probably gone if they don't have a winning record in the next 2-3 years. So that's why it's just a little odd to me. All right, that's all the news we got. Drock, what do we got for questions?
Yeah, questions. Sorry, I was finding other information.
Great.
Drock
Love
just
to see him
was
being
not
My
prepared.
job is cut.
Love to see him being prepared.
That's great, Drock.
All right, first question is from
Austin.
Austin.
What's up, Austin?
What do you guys think of the Steelers hiring former Falcons head coach Arthur Smith
Oh, yeah.
as their new OC? Was it a good move by the Steelers, and does it hurt any players for fantasy value?
Yes, it hurts. George Pickens, 100%. For everyone that wants to see the George Pickens breakout, looks like you gotta wait another couple years. Like,
We also don't even know who the quarterback's going to be, but what I will say is they're begging me to take Najee Harris to lead the league in rushing yards.
whoa.
They're begging me.
If Algier got that many touches with Bijan in-house, what makes you think Najee's going to get enough carries to lead the league in rushing with Jalen Warren there?
He's a closer fit to Derrick Henry in that kind of style, the bigger back that you want to just ground and pound with, where Bijan's super athletic, but clearly he's not a big beast at like 230, 240 like Najee and Derrick Henry are.
Yeah, but I still think that Jalen Warren's going to play a significant role. Like, more so where, like, I don't think Najee has any chance to surpass McCaffrey in rushing if McCaffrey's healthy, because McCaffrey's the only running back that gets touches.
Yeah, I mean, I still got to keep running it back, because I'll be so mad at myself if I don't and he does it, so it's more of a it's an emotional pick.
All right.
Yeah, I don't like the hire, to be honest with you, but he was good as the OC in Tennessee.
Who are your guys' top 5 upcoming free agents?
So I was looking at it just from the North alone. I mean, obviously, at the wide receiver position, we got a couple interesting options. Mike Evans, even though I do think he returns, he's very interesting. T. Higgins, also another one that's very interesting.
Sticks out to me is Brian Burns, Carolina. And I brought this up in my blog a few weeks ago. They turned down 2 first-round picks from the Rams last year for Brian Burns. Now he's a free agent. If you don't re-sign him and you let him walk, yeah, you get a comp pick like in the 3rd round, but that doesn't compare to the 2 firsts you could have had when you were in a position that you weren't ready to compete, you know, and you have this guy that's in his prime right now, and probably by the time the Panthers can compete for a Super Bowl, if they are anytime soon, Burns is out of his prime. So now he's a pending free agent, and Carolina almost is handcuffed. You're like, all right, we got to bring this guy back. He's a cornerstone of their defense, but I don't know, man. You turned down 2 first-round picks.
You could look at another edge rusher probably on the move is Josh Allen as well. I know Chris Jones is going to be a free agent, but I feel like he's going to stay with Kansas City. But
Josh Allen could leave, but I think Jacksonville's going to try really hard to bring him back to pair with Trayvon Walker for the long term.
And Badamike is interesting, but I know the Ravens have enough cap space to make it work.
And I'd imagine they tag him if they need to.
Yeah, yep.
All right, his last question was there any Pro Bowl snubs?
Well, a lot of
you
guys
see, Gardner Minshew is now a Pro Bowler.
Yeah. So.
Pro Bowl replacement Gardner Minshew. It was like 15 touchdowns and 9 picks.
Well, guys like Josh Allen, I know, declined because he's doing the golf tournament. But, yeah, I think that just shows you at this point, any guy that probably should be in is now in there.
Baker's in. Let's go, Bake.
Yeah, Jermaine
He
Johnson
deserves
just
it.
got in. Although Quincy Williams still has not got in, even though he's an All-Pro, first-team All-Pro, which is kind of hilarious.
If you can find anyone on the All-Pro team that's not in the Pro Bowl team, there you go. That's your snub.
Yeah, Quincy Williams. I mean, come on. Like, don't worry. At least Gardner Minshew's in there.
L'Jarius Sneed should be a Pro Bowler, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, they could have possibly gave him the call to join, but obviously he's in the Super Bowl, so those guys don't compete.
Yeah.
All right, let's hop to Max. Max got some good questions today.
Let's go.
Oh,
Hey.
the guy who films it. Right? That's the guy you're talking about from TC&J?
No.
A different guy.
It's not Hafe, dude. Come on.
The guy who records the cheerleaders at all sporting events. All right, where does Andy Reid rank all time if he wins the Super Bowl?
Wow. That's a good question,
Top
man.
5 for sure. I mean, he's already top. I believe he's 3rd or 4th in wins right now, and I think they were saying he can get up to 1st if he wins like 10+ games over the next like 5-6 years. So I mean, right now
I don't think he has 5 or 6 in him.
hard. Yeah, I mean, hard to say.
There's already retirement rumors coming out. So I don't think he'll become the all-time winningest coach, but if he wins this one, he's got 3 rings.
Yep.
He did phenomenal work in Philadelphia before he got to Kansas City. He's certainly top 5. You could even argue top 3, to be honest with you.
Well, this is if he wins.
Yeah.
So
He's certainly top 5. You could argue top 3.
What are the chances he retires if he wins this Super Bowl?
See, that's a good
interesting.
question. Do you think it's a greater chance he retires going out on top, or if they fall short, but they're still right there?
I don't think he retires if they fall short.
Yes, I don't
Unfinished
know.
business.
I don't think he retires regardless. Honestly, I feel like if him and Kelsey are gonna like retire at the same time, though.
That's the thing, like, because Travis Kelce, if they win, he
No,
might
I don't
propose to
think he's
Taylor Swift and retire. You know, like
I don't think that.
it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Andy and Taylor do have that connection. They were looking at each other.
Yeah, they're planning out. Is she gonna retire too?
If I had to bet on it, I say Kelce and Reed give it one more year after this, win or loss.
Yeah. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
Let's hop to a fantasy question. What is Zamir White's value right now with the uncertainty around Josh Jacobs?
Well,
Jacobs a free agent, yeah, and they just tagged him, so I think it's unlikely they tag him again. I mean, I think White's worth a stash. I mean, he did okay while he played. He also doesn't add any PPR upside. So
I'd say his value's pretty high just because this Raiders team's got a lot of holes and this isn't a great running back class. He was a guy they committed to all offseason when Josh Jacobs had the contract issues, so I definitely think he's their day one starter next year. I really wouldn't be super worried about whoever they draft if they do draft anybody because this is a team with a lot of holes and it's not a great running back class. So definitely think he's worth stashing, and Colin's picking him up as we speak.
No. I'm looking at his game.
He went off the last couple games.
Yeah, 'cause he played the last 4 games significantly.
Yeah, and
he was
RB
effective. 12, 17, 16, and 20.
Yeah, so that tells you. I mean, he's definitely worth a stash, and honestly, he has potential flex upside. So definitely would pick him up if he's in your leagues.
Yeah, Hafe has him, so that's why he's asking.
Yeah, no, I mean, I believe I had him or at one point because obviously coming into the year there was a lot of buzz coming around him before Jacobs signed.
Hafe's gonna send me like an offer to get Zamir White for like a 1st-round pick, and I'm gonna tell him to fuck off. That's what's gonna happen here.
Oh, there you go.
All right, let's hop to a betting question. Heads or tails for the Super Bowl, and why?
I'm a heads guy. I always click heads in Madden, and it usually does me well. I think I hit more than a 50% clip, so I know a lot of people are tails. Heads is the unpopular pick. I'm a heads guy.
I'm a tails guy. Tails never fails.
Yeah.
Tails won. Actually, it was.
Actually, do we have a coin around here? I'll flip one right now and
Yeah,
tell you what we're taking.
We'll give it to you guys.
Live on the
Ask
pod.
Sierra on your phone.
No, we got a coin over there?
Yeah, we do. What is it, Caleb?
Tails.
Oh!
You heard,
Shit!
Never fail.
if that's not a sign, I don't know what is. It's tails for the
Fade
Super
the
Bowl.
coin.
Taking heads. Okay.
Should we do a wheel spin? Just put heads. Oh, we should actually.
That's
Just
not
put
a bad
heads
idea.
through like 6
That's our
heads,
wheel spin for the
6
Super Bowl.
tails.
All right, guys, we have 6 heads, 6 tails. Let's spin this wheel.
I mean, honestly, we could do a couple prop bets like that and like over under on the
We
anthem.
can each take like a
Gatorade color on the wheel.
Oh no, we actually should do Gatorade color.
We
on the
could do
wheel.
Gatorade color on the
I
wheel.
love that.
And then we'll make a video. We'll get all the different options, and then you have to just come up and slam. Like Jock, you have to do it and be like, "What are we gonna do? Slam it and why not?
Too much.
Why? Come on and
pour a
slam.
thing of Gatorade over.
Well, we gotta buy 12 different
yes.
Gatorades for
Yeah,
that.
and then you
Alright,
slam every single one.
No, whatever Gatorade color wins, and I'll dump it on my head.
All right, there we go.
Confirmed.
Just throw Gatorade bottles at him.
It's mean. All right. Felt versus fan question.
Wait, is
Go ahead.
it like on the north or now? Because if it's on the north, save it for
No,
later.
it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. Who are the longest tenured OCs and DCs in the NFL?
Oh, I
He's
just
got-
saw this.
So they'd be
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 OCs.
The longest tenured OC
these are
is
all the
like
same.
2 years in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, could you guess the year too?
It's like
That'd be
it's
pretty
from
interesting.
2022.
what?
Correct.
Yeah,
So Brian Johnson's got to be one of them.
Brian Johnson just got let go.
Or
by
not
the
Brian
Eagles.
Johnson.
You mean Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. Yeah.
Correct.
That's yeah.
Half a point.
I meant Ben Johnson, but I said Brian Johnson
That's
because
one OC.
because they were talking about it today because I knew he was the OC last year and then obviously
Can
he
you
was
give
this
the
year.
year of the longest tenured DC?
Yeah, wouldn't it be
What
Jeff Ulbrich with the Jets?
Is it Steve Spagnuolo with the Chiefs?
Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah, baby.
Up
Spags.
1.5 points.
What year did he? Does it say what year he started?
It has the other one,
Oh,
2019.
Dan Quinn, Cowboys.
Wait, what? So what year was
2019.
Spags? Was 2019?
Spags was 2019. You guys can run it up with the OCs too. It's really recent. So
I mean, it's 2022. Like, I mean, I know Kafka's been in for 2 years. Like, that wouldn't qualify, though, because we're looking for, 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. I gotta really think here.
The fans are winning this one.
The fans are definitely winning this one.
Well, we got the top guys.
Can you guys shoot out an OC, like a guess?
Wait, could it have been someone fired this year?
No, because they're not
in the
tenured.
description.
They're not tenured.
Well, yeah, I meant like fired mid-season.
No, because they're not tenured. I think they have to be active.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Fair. I guess you're right. Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. Come on. There's gotta be.
Come on, give me
Dude,
one
these
more.
are fucking hard.
This is bad. Because there's so many. You gotta think all the rookie coaches came in with like new guys and didn't bring anyone. I know it's not a Jet. I know it's not a Bill. I know it's not a Dolphin because they just. Or it could be because I know the Dolphins got rid of.
It's not the Cowboys. It's not the Giants. It's not the Eagles. It's not the Commanders. It's not the Falcons.
Definitely not the.
It's not the Saints.
But OC and DC. But Antonio Pierce was.
Huh?
Antonio Pierce?
No, he was a
wasn't he the
linebacker coach before.
Oh, he wasn't. Really?
It's not Tampa Bay. It's not Carolina.
Could be the Saints.
No, they just fired their OC.
Fuck.
Carmichael.
Fuck.
Oh, shit.
Oh, but he got fired.
It's not Chicago.
Because Packers, what's his face?
We got Ben Johnson.
The Packers DC would be out. Why am I blanking?
Joe Barry.
Joe Barry would be out. Yeah.
Time's running out.
Yeah, just
Lions-
tell us, dude. I don't know.
Frank Smith is an OC. Press Taylor. Mike Kafka.
It was Kafka
Yeah, but
was on there?
Yeah, but that was, you put
Did
it
you
out.
say that?
You
I
put
said
it out and like
Kafka.
I
That
couldn't.
wasn't a confirmed response.
Wait,
Yeah,
it's
that
2
was not a
years.
confirmed
Yeah, it was not
response.
confirmed,
You were like-
but I was like,
you should have just said it.
Kafka was 2 years ago. I
And
was
the
like,
DC is Joe
Lou Anarumo on Cincinnati, yeah.
Joe, yeah. That was a good
That was good.
Felt versus fan question.
We gotta do some-
On top to Sean.
What up, Sean?
We got Mo.
Do you think Mahomes is the only QB that can catch Brady in rings and playoff wins? We talked about this last week.
Well, currently,
It's-
yes. I mean, there's
yeah.
still someone in the wings, but yeah, I mean, it'd be hard to predict anyone outside of Mahomes that's currently active. I mean,
Because
nobody's.
Mahomes dominates the AFC, and all the top quarterbacks in the league for the most part are in the AFC, and they
Yeah,
can't get over.
Who is
the
a
hump.
ring right now that's active outside of Mahomes? Stafford. Like he's not gonna have enough time.
Yeah, it's just
Do any other active quarterbacks have one?
Rodgers.
Well, yeah, Rodgers.
But
too,
Rodgers
like,
ain't catching him.
No.
He's too old.
Unless he starts dating Nicki Minaj and blowing up their...
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I still think that.
Yeah,
Theory
those
might
the
be
only
spot
three.
on.
Are those the only three active quarterbacks with a ring?
There's got to be someone else. I mean, I guess there could be like
Think
a
about
backup.
Brady-
'Cause Flacco, technically.
Oh, I guess
But, like,
Flacco. Yeah, Flacco.
What do you consider him?
All right, we're hopping to Churf.
Hey,
What up,
pal.
Churf?
What does the outlook look like for Deshaun Watson? And if he's healthy, he'll be will he be smarter? But what can you do if he underperforms and they miss the playoffs?
Wow, that leads into my Browns season review grade, which isn't as high as some people may expect because of Deshaun Watson. You left this season with more questions than you have answers with Deshaun Watson. I have his. I'll get more into it later, but the outlook is not good. He signed a 4-year deal, so it was actually a 4-year extension. So they're locked in through, I believe,
yeah,
2026.
It's like impossible for them to get out of it.
I
And what
believe-
team in their right mind would take that on?
I believe they're married to Watson for 3 years, and it's a. I mean, we talked about it in the last pod, Reagan.
Yeah.
The way Flacco played, he was a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson, and he had less when he played because
The line
the tackles
injuries.
were out.
No Chubb.
Wills, Conklin,
No Chubb.
DeJuan Jones, no Chubb at all.
Yeah, no Chubb at all.
So, and Flacco was better at his age. It's a tough reality for Browns fans. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be in shambles next year if I'm a Browns fan and he comes out and just either deals with injuries again or just doesn't play well because then you're just in such a shit spot going forward.
All right, we're hopping to Walmart. Early
up, Walmart?
predictions. What's the Jets' record next year, and what is the Giants, and why?
I mean, I'm gonna go with the Jets. I'll be modest. I'd say 11-6 next year. Dude, no, because we went 7-9 this year. Or I'm sorry, 7-10 this year. Our defense is phenomenal. We aren't losing a ton of
We
guys.
got an MVP coming aboard.
Yeah, and we're getting a quarterback. You know what I mean? If we went 7-10 last year, our schedule's going to be a little bit easier this year. So it's hard for me to not say we'll improve by 4 games with a competent quarterback.
Yeah, the Giants went 6-11 this year with Jones, DeVito, Tyrod. Now, they do have a lot of holes on this roster. They got to determine whether or not to bring back Saquon, and they got to determine whether or not they're bringing back Xavier McKinney, who played 100% of snaps last year and was actually one of the top 5 best safeties in the league, according to Pro Football Focus. So they got to determine that. They do have some cap space. The biggest question is who the fuck's playing quarterback, and can they address the offensive line? I'd imagine their floor is hopefully 7 next year, considering they won 6.
Floor?
They won 6 this year.
Floor?
They can't get much worse, dude. Look at their carousel at quarterback.
Yeah, but floor is like their absolute worst. I'd say their floor is worse than this year. I'd say their floor is about 5 games. Because floor is the absolute worst.
I think, all right.
You got to realize.
I'll meet you in the middle. Their floor is 6.
Say 5,
Floor is
bro.
6.
I still feel
How
like
do they go? How do they get worse when they were playing Tommy DeVito, an undrafted
because it's
rookie
a floor.
quarterback?
It's a floor. They weren't at their floor this year. The fact that they did as well this year with that, we're talking about their floor, which means the absolute worst possible scenario.
I think 6 is a safe
What's the
floor.
record?
I'm gonna go 8 and 9.
I'll go 6 and
But
11.
then again,
There's too many question marks
There's
right now.
so much that could happen in the
What's the record for the
offseason.
Jets?
I don't hate 11 and 6.
Dude, also our only like big loss right now is going to be Bryce Huff, and we're supposed to re-sign him.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'd almost use that money to allocate in the offensive line and let Jermaine Johnson take over a more full-time role. I know Bryce Huff's a
pressure
stud,
was, like,
you know.
through the roof.
No,
I
I know.
Well, we're
he's
losing.
stud,
We're
but-
getting off Carl Lawson's contract, so that's good. 'Cause he's
All right.
bum.
Now, a trivia question, but not so trivia. Redo the first 10 picks of last year's draft with what we know now. Where does everyone go?
Okay.
So it's not. I see what you're saying. It's not actually.
All right, hold on. Let me pull up the...
So we basically have to keep those 10 in there, or can we like sub guys that in to the top 10?
No, with the last 10 picks, so...
No, you could... just how would it go
Yeah,
now?
how would it go now?
All right, so we're assuming every team... Because Houston traded up to 3.
Yeah.
So, we're assuming...
So
obviously,
one's gotta be
C.J. Stroud goes
yeah.
1.
Yep.
I think Houston, with what we know now, they still got to go quarterback. Do you go Richardson, even though he got hurt, but he showed more promise than Young, or do you take
No.
Bryce Young?
I think you take Bryce Young because he played. Or do you
But
take
Richardson
Levis?
was better when he played.
Yeah,
I don't think you take Levis.
I think you
over
take Young because Young's more is the reason he went 1 because of the talent. He has the bigger sample size, and the Texans are a much better situation. So I still think you have to go Young 2. Then I think they still go Anderson at 3.
Yes, I think Richardson still goes 4 to Indy. He showed flashes before he got hurt. You can't, just because you got hurt, you know.
Maybe, yeah.
But they feel like they have their guy.
You would think, yeah. But you can make a case that Jalen Carter goes 3 too. Like honestly, I think Jalen Carter might go 3 instead.
But Will Anderson might win. I mean,
it's
he might
between
win.
those two.
Yes. So I'm gonna still have them take Will Anderson, considering Will Anderson's also a captain on that team.
Yeah.
As a rookie, which is impressive. Where Jalen Carter was probably playing with more talent around him.
So okay, we'll say Richardson at 4 because.
Okay. At 5, Seattle went Witherspoon. Yeah. I don't hate that, although Joey Porter Jr. is in Defensive Rookie of the Year conversation.
I think they go Carter there.
Not.
I think they go Jalen Carter.
You think they go
there.
Carter?
Yeah,
because they traded for Leonard Williams midseason.
Yeah, I think
they
they
were
go
Jalen
Jalen Carter there, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go Jalen Carter 5. 6, the Cardinals took Paris Johnson.
Yeah,
I think
I think they go Puka after everything we've seen. They're lacking wide receiver talent. I think they definitely go Puka at 6.
I wouldn't hate going Puka there at all.
I think because dude, we're talking about them going Marvin Harrison this year. Like, wide receiver is a huge... I mean, obviously, Marvin Harrison's a stud, but, like, wide receiver is a huge hole.
It's also hard for us to...
outside of Trey McBride, they don't have a ton of weapons.
Yeah, it's also hard for us to determine, how good Paris Johnson was, because it's not like we watched a lot of Cardinals and a lot of their tackle situation.
But you also look at the weapons and think about how good Puka was.
Yeah,
like,
I
there's
like
a reason
Puka
he's a Pro
at 6.
Bowler and you could have made a case he was an All-Pro this year. You know what I mean? So
yeah, Raiders went Tyree Wilson at 7.
Yeah,
That's
that
definitely a
not
switch,
happening.
man. It's definitely a switch. I mean, I want to somehow throw Jahmyr Gibbs up in here, but he doesn't make sense for the Raiders. The next one's interesting because the Falcons go Bijan. Do you switch that with Gibbs?
Yeah,
Based
I
on
think
their
at
rookie
7,
It's tough, man.
Because the Raiders, they have a lot of holes. You know what I mean? They have a lot of holes.
I mean, they could go corner. Christian Gonzalez looked really good before he got hurt. But then again, he didn't play a lot, so it's hard to put him up there. You know what I mean? How about Joey Porter, man? Do you mind Joey Porter going there?
I mean, you could.
Defensive Rookie of the Year conversation. Raiders secondary's been bad forever. You know? What about Joey Porter going 7?
Yeah, I mean, you also could make a case. Do they go quarterback too? Like, are they a team that goes Will Levis potentially?
Yeah, but I don't think what you saw from Levis this year warrants a top 10 pick.
Who else could you? I mean, they could. I mean, they probably wouldn't go. I don't think they'd go a skill player. So it really comes down to, do they go Joey Porter? I mean, or you could go. I mean, you could go. Yeah, I mean, I would say probably Joey Porter works. Why not?
8. Atlanta went Bijan. They stick with Bijan? I think they could stick with Bijan.
I don't know. I feel like after going through this, they might switch up, and then I don't know.
And target where? What do you like? What position wise? Because if you want to go, because they do need pass rush, they need more juice on the edge, but there really haven't been too many stud pass rushers that can't. I mean, you can't put Will McDonald there. He didn't play enough in New York. You can't put Miles Murphy he wasn't good enough for Cincy. You can't put Brian Brzee. Nolan Smith didn't play enough for Philly. Anudike and Uzoma didn't play enough for KC. Didn't really make much of an impact.
Oh.
Oh, drop.
Wow, last pod.
Boys,
The fuck, man.
Good timing.
Thought it would be a silent one.
I'm gonna keep Atlanta with Bijan at 8.
Terrible. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna keep Bijan there, and then Philly. Carter's off the board now, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So how do we replace Jalen Carter? Do they go Jahmyr Gibbs?
No. I think they. I feel like they could go secondary here. I mean, that was a big issue for them because you're not going to take a linebacker.
How about Deontay Banks?
Banks? You like him over what's his face out in Seattle?
I do like Banks.
Witherspoon, yeah.
You go Witherspoon or Banks there.
Because Witherspoon, I feel like was getting more recognition, but I don't think you can go wrong with either.
But Banks was shadowing the other team's wide receiver 1 on the back end of the year, while Seattle relies more on a zone scheme, so it kind of depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
I think you go with one of those 2 corners. Bears went Darnell Wright, tackle at 10.
Yeah, I think they stay with that.
They probably stick there with Darnell Wright. I mean, Skoronski played guard after him. I don't think you can go there. I'm fine with sticking with Darnell Wright there.
Cool.
Good question, though, man.
That was a phenomenal
Really
question.
getting us to dive into it.
All right, now we got 2 last questions from Jared.
What up, Jared?
Crampton, that is.
Cranny.
Is J.K. Dobbins still the back to have in Baltimore?
No. Keaton Mitchell is.
Yeah, Keaton Mitchell had a lot of juice as a rookie. Dobbins now has blew out his knee and his Achilles. He has never shown he can consistently stay healthy. He has no PPR upside, and I don't think he's ever received more than 18 carries in a single game in Baltimore.
Yeah, and if Keaton Mitchell didn't go down, I don't like if statements, obviously, but if Keaton Mitchell wasn't to go down, he would have been the guy, the feature back. They would have used him all the playoff run. He would have been getting a ton of carries and stuff, and he would have been a hot dynasty name going into next year. So I think if there's a chance he did hit waivers, you got to scoop him up because I think he'll be the day 1 starter next year because Gus is gone after this year, and Justice Hill is not a long-term option. So
And Dalvin Cook is gone too, probably. A lot of old backs in that scheme.
And even if he's not,
take
are
the
you
young
really
guy
worried
with
about
juice.
Dalvin
Yeah,
Cook?
take the young guy with juice.
Come on
Keaton
now.
Mitchell's the back to have.
Last question for the night from the Felters. Is George Pickens just Gabe Davis but mean?
Gabe Davis, but mean. I get it because they have a little bit of an attitude to him. They got the size,
And they have the boom bust potential. Where
boom bust potential, and they're also good in the run game out wide. They do pancake some dudes. George Pickens is fucked with Arthur Smith. I'll say that. If Drake London couldn't get going, I don't see George Pickens getting going either with a similar quarterback situation.
I just like that. It's a mean George Pickens. I mean, yeah, he's not wrong. Gabe Davis, it sounds like, is out of Buffalo as well because I know he's a free agent, and he didn't sound very optimistic about returning. So it'll be interesting. But I do like that comp, and with the Arthur Smith hire, I don't have any confidence. And also, we don't even know who the quarterback is next year.
Yeah.
I do think they end up drafting a quarterback this year.
One last thing on Gabe Davis, too. Cole Beasley said on Twitter that Gabe Davis is the guy that brings the toughness to that entire team, and without him, Buffalo won't be the same. I saw him linked to the Giants, obviously, with the Buffalo ties. I pray to God they don't sign Gabe Davis. He's too boomer bust for me. Doesn't push the needle offensively.
Well, if you get 2 wide receivers, like if he's your wide receiver too, it's not bad. You just need to make sure if you're going to get him, you got to get another guy.
I don't know. We saw what he is as a wide receiver, too, with Josh Allen. So I don't think he's going to be any better with whoever the Giants have at quarterback. All right, guys. That wraps up the questions. Appreciate it as always. We'll take a quick break.
Here at Around the Felt, we know that football and Manhattans go hand in hand, and we only drink worse Manhattans, the best.
All right, guys, we're back. We're going to start off with the AFC North, our division grades, and we're going to go from bottom up. So this is an interesting division to do first, Reagan, considering every team in the division had a winning record. And a lot of quarterback changes in this division. We'll start with the Bengals. They finished 9-8 this season. They ranked 22nd in total offense referring to total yards. 16th in points per game. Defensively, 31st in yards allowed, 21st in scoring, which when I saw that, I was very surprised because usually this defense under Lou Anaromo is very good.
Yeah,
Reagan,
not quite this year.
What grade did you land on for the Bengals?
So I kind of view this season as basically what their record was average, so I gave them a C because they had an average year. Honestly, I was thinking about going higher because what Browning was able to do was impressive, but then I looked at it, I'm like, dude, and granted Burrow was injured, but they were 5-5 when Burrow was healthy. It wasn't like they had issues way before Burrow went down. And we were hoping this team would figure it out, but there was no guarantee this team was going to figure it out with Burrow anyway. So I was more impressed that Browning was able to get them to 5-4. And honestly, I saw a cool stat. I was looking at it, or I guess it's more of a fantasy stat, but believe it or not, in Browning averaged 16 fantasy points per game, and Burrow only averaged 14.7.
Now, Burrow did play the first 3 or so weeks recovering
injured.
from
Yes,
the calf.
he was injured, but still, at the end of the day, it is impressive that Browning was able to average more points per game.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I'm still taking a healthy Joe Burrow, or a hobbled 50% Joe Burrow over Jake Browning any day.
Yeah, I ended up with a B- for Cincinnati. I think to finish with a winning record without having Burrow for most of the season, and when you did have him, he was compromised, is actually very impressive. And also, when you put into context how much this defense fell off without Jesse Bates and Von Bell in the secondary. Because, 21st in scoring and 31st in yards is terrible. Like, they were getting torched. So, I didn't even realize how bad it was. Now, although they had a winning record, it was a waste of a season with Burrow in his prime. They have a chance to win a Super Bowl with a healthy Joe Burrow, and he started to hit his stride before, unfortunately, getting hurt for the rest of the season. The team still competed, though, to the end of the season with Jake Browning.
They were 5-4 with Browning.
At the end of the day, it's a wash of a season with Burrow in his prime, and now you have guys like T. Higgins, the free agent, DJ Reader, Chidobe Awuzie, like some key players.
Jonah Williams, Tyler Boyd, too.
Yeah, they do have some cap space. What do they got, Reagan, cap space-wise?
$61 million.
$61 million. So they can re-sign some of those guys and fill some holes. They're going to have to draft better. They're going to have to address that defense. But with Joe Burrow coming back next year, it should be a better season in Cincinnati.
Yeah. No, they're in a good spot, honestly.
Next, the Steelers, 10-7. They ranked 25th in total offense, 27th in scoring, to no one's surprise. The defense was actually 21st in yards allowed. However, 6th in scoring. Big bend, don't break mentality in Pittsburgh. It's tough to score in that defense. Reagan, what grade did you give them?
So I gave them a C+ here, and a lot of it, like, not all 10-7s are created equally. And in this case, I was like, you know what? Yeah, they went 10-7, but is it really that impressive at the end of the day for them to just continue to have these, like, to squeak into the playoffs and be a first-round exit? Not really. Like, they're not taking that next step, and they're not, like, going back. They're just kind of in constant mediocrity. So I was like,
exactly.
You know what? Like, but then I gave them the C+ versus C because I'm like, you know what? They did make the playoffs. The roster was super talented on the offensive side of things, with the quarterback play and the offensive play calling. So I know they had a lot of issues, but at the end of the day, man, it's hard to give this team a lot of respect because they're 10-7 versus Houston's 10-7. Houston won the division, but also they way exceeded expectations. So a team like Houston, I'm more in the A range at 10-7, but a team like Pittsburgh, it's like, you know what, they didn't do much with it, and we kind of hoped for more with it. So
Reagan, I agree with everything you said. It does not happen often on this podcast, but I do.
Wow.
It was a Mike Tomlin special. Doesn't happen often. It was a Mike Tomlin special, pulling out a winning record despite the lack of talent, specifically on the offensive side. However, they made the playoffs, show yet again they cannot compete with the elite teams in this league, and that's just what it is. You know, as long as TJ Watt's there, the defense is going to be really good. I hate that he got hurt before the playoffs because as soon as he got hurt, everyone already counted him out like they were not beating Buffalo. I think he might be the most valuable defensive player in the league to his own team. Like, is that terrible to say? Because look at their record with him off the field compared to when he is. It's a crazy discrepancy. I think they're like 1-10 or 1-11 without TJ Watt.
He definitely is.
Also, like firing Matt Canada mid-season, very un-Steeler-like. Whenever you have coaching change like that in the middle of the season, it's always tough. I ended on a B-, even though they went 10-7, because leaving this season, Kenny Pickett does not look like the long-term answer.
Yeah, I fully expect this team to be drafting a quarterback in the first round. I think Michael Penix is a likely landing spot for him.
You think, huh?
I fully think that. Yeah, I think they go back to the well because they're like, you know what, we got a win-now team. Or I don't know if they're necessarily win-now, but they're definitely at the point where they're...
You had an eyelash, buddy. I got you.
Thanks.
That was cute.
They're definitely at the point where they're closer to competing versus tanking. So I think for them, an older guy who has less of a project, and obviously has his injury risk, but I think they'll try to go back to the same thought process with Pickett, older guy, less of a project. You kind of know what he is, so I definitely could see them drafting him late and trying to run it back, because Rudolph is a free agent. They might bring him back, but let's be honest, he's not the long-term answer. There's no one that's the long-term answer on this roster, and their team, like, they only have, or actually, they're negative $14.2 million in cap space.
Woo-hoo! Not good when you have that much of a lack of talent on offense.
And a lot of they don't have a lot of guys that are losing in free agency either, so they're gonna have to make some changes. But Levi Wallace is a key component. Mason Rudolph was one of their top guys they're losing, and then Miles Kilbrew. Those are the big three that they'd be potentially losing.
Not a lot to lose. So I got a couple things to say based on what you just said. So yes, I 100% agree. They're stuck in that quarterback purgatory where they're too good to get an elite prospect, but they're not good enough to actually compete and have the same ceiling as a legitimate contender. Yeah. Now, with Arthur Smith coming over, I know a lot of Steelers fans want Justin Fields, and that could be a potential landing spot for Fields. I saw today on Twitter, apparently, when the Falcons picked fourth, they took Kyle Pitts. They passed on Justin Fields because Arthur Smith was not a believer in Fields long term.
Yeah.
So I think the hiring of Arthur Smith hurts the Steelers' chances of landing Justin Fields or trying to go after him.
I still think the Bears keep Fields. I still believe that, and they trade the pick and get a freaking haul.
You see the Broncos want to move up to one?
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't?
Who knows if that's true or not, but they have to give up a lot, and they just gave up a lot to get Wilson.
And that's my whole thing. It's not a knock on Williams. It's more of just like what you can get. And I think the Bears can be very competitive by trading away that pick versus if they keep it, they're not going to be as competitive.
Yeah, I hear you. Also, Mike Tomlin said that he believes the starting 2024 quarterback for the Steelers is already on the roster.
Well, yeah.
With Rudolph being a free agent, though, does that include Rudolph?
I think that's more just him being a good coach. That's just coach speak. I don't think that has...
What did Cliff Kingsbury say when he came in, saying Josh is our guy? 2 months later, they take Kyler
That's
number
what
one.
I mean, bro. It's going to be interesting, but I fully expect it. Whatever the odds are on that, I definitely like them to take a quarterback.
So you think Penix? I will say Bo Nix apparently has looked terrible at the Shrine Bowl this week. Really bad. Underthrowing guys, overthrowing guys. Almost got stripped a few times that if it was full contact, he probably would have. So apparently Bo Nix has not been playing well.
Yeah, well, I don't know what their odds are to take a quarterback in the first round, but I love that. It's one of the draft props I'm going to be hyping up.
All right, Reagan, let's move on to your Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, man, I give them a B on the year. You know what? I give them a B because at the end of the day, with all the cards that were dealt and all the injuries they had, they still were able to float the ship, go 11-6, so it was impressive. I mean, obviously, long-term, they have a lot of issues, but for where the season could have gone once losing Watson and all the tackles and Chubb, the fact that they still made it in, and honestly, obviously, they got blown out in the first round, but they were on a hot streak, man. They really closed out the season strong, so. And obviously, Stefanski should be the coach of the year. I'm assuming we both expect that, and the Vegas lines are kind of reflecting that. So
you took a lot of my points from me, Reagan, and I'm actually surprised that I have a higher grade for the Browns season than you do. They went 11-6 this year. They were 16th in total offense, 10th in scoring, which is pretty impressive considering the amount of injuries they had on that side of the ball and their quarterback carousel. They were first in total defense, however, 13th in scoring, which I was surprised to see. So I gave them a B+. And although Flacco brought them on a great run, and it was a fun season, and they overachieved expectations going 11-6 with the injuries to Chubb and Watson and Jedrick Wills and Jack Conklin, DeJuan Jones, their top 3 tackles throughout the year, as you highlighted. The reality is, they're a win-now team, the way they're constructed, with the salary cap they have, with how much you're paying Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, they're negative 20 going into next
So,
year.
to get thumped by Houston with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback in the first round was a bad look.
And that's why they landed at a B. If it was close, it'd be more B+, A- range. But the fact that they got killed that bad was a B.
Yeah, this is a tough evaluation. I'm not gonna lie, because
and they're in a similar spot to the Steelers, where uncertainty at the quarterback, negative in the cap space, not losing a ton of guys because they're only losing Kareem Hunt, Joe Flacco, and Shelby Harris. Those are their big 3 losses. Yeah. I don't expect Kareem Hunt to be back.
But they have to create more cap space, which means they're kicking the can down the road on more contracts, which will make it tougher to build around them. Granted, they're getting a lot of guys back healthy next year, but honestly, for me, also it held them back. Maybe B+ is too generous, because this is the biggest question I have with the Browns that we mentioned earlier. You're leaving this season with more questions than answers with Watson. I think it's evident he will never live up to that contract. The way he's looked the past 2 seasons, everyone gave him a pass last year, because of time off. He was bad this year. He had a 61.4% completion rate, 7 touchdowns to 4 picks, only averaging 185 passing yards a game. That's awful. That's bottom 10 quarterback.
He wasn't good. He wasn't good.
So now you go into next season and you have this dilemma where you're like, well, Flacco played really well in Stefanski's scheme. They won 11 games. But you got to play Watson. And he was bad in Stefanski's scheme with more than Flacco. So that's a really big detriment to this Browns team. Honestly, B+ that I gave him might be a little too generous. But like you mentioned, the way Stefanski coached that team this year to win 11 games was very impressive. And I think he should win Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I agree.
Last but not least, Reagan, the Baltimore Ravens, huh?
Yeah.
13-4, the AFC's number 1 seed, the 5th toughest schedule in football, winning 13 games, very impressive. They rank 6th in total offense, 3rd in scoring, 6th in total defense, 1st in scoring. On paper, one of the best seasons, regular seasons, that we've seen in recent memory, considering how they blew out so many good teams. What grade did you give them?
I gave them an A- because I would have given them an A if they won that game, and I would have given them an A+. Honestly, I would have given them an A+ if they got to the Super Bowl. And if that game didn't go the way, if it went slightly different, where it was like, you know what? Yeah, because it wasn't that it was close at the end of the day, but it wasn't close. It just felt like they killed themselves. So like, honestly, if they lost that game like 17-10, but it wasn't because of all the penalties and stuff and them shooting themselves in the foot, I'm like, look, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs look better. They didn't. So I honestly kicked them from an A to an A- just from that game alone. So, I mean, they got some issues in the offseason. I mean, they have $5.6 million in cap space, but they have a lot of key guys to sign. Like, do you want to bring Clowney back? And then, obviously, Patrick Queen's a Pro Bowler this year. OBJ, I mean, you're not going to bring him back for the money he wants.
No.
Not even a big factor. And BK, you got to give him whatever he wants.
He's an all-pro.
I mean, yeah, exactly. And then Kevin Zeitler as well.
Zeitler is a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, so they got a lot of key losses, so it'll be interesting with not a lot of cap space, but I don't know, man. I would have really honestly gave them an A if that game went differently. But at the end of the day, I wasn't high on this team. I took their under and wins, so they proved me wrong. So I do give them respect in that sense.
I gave them a B.
Wow.
Maybe I'm being harsh. So
I think you are being a little harsh.
On the positives,
Plus, just a B?
A B.
I think that's very harsh.
On the positive side, Lamar finally staying healthy for a full season, definitely a positive, and most likely to win his second MVP.
Yeah.
And with all that contract drama in the offseason, the fact that he came in and played the way he did as a leader on that team was also huge for the Ravens. I gave him a B based on preseason expectations. This team is expected to be in the postseason every year. They have the talent. They were top 3 in scoring offense and defense. But they fell short yet again. And that game against the Chiefs was a dud. Terrible game plan out of Todd Monken and the offense. However, it was to Patrick Mahomes, so I get it. If they would have lost to Houston, even with that phenomenal regular season record, I would have docked them hard. At least they got to the AFC Championship. But at some point, for this team, with this caliber of quarterback, just getting there isn't enough. You got to make a run. And they had the bye. They won one playoff game, lost to Mahomes, and the way they lost really bothered me because it looked like offensively they just weren't prepared for what Spagnuolo was going to bring.
Yeah, and defensively they were just doing dumbass play after dumbass play.
Absolutely. They were undisciplined. And offensively, you got away from what got you there. You were the number 1 rushing offense in the league, and then you give the ball to your running back 6 times. It didn't even matter who's playing running back. When you have the threat of Lamar Jackson to pull the ball with that offensive line, you're going to be able to pick up yards. And the Chiefs are more vulnerable to the run than they are the pass. So the way they went out really bothered me. That's why I docked them down to a B.
Yeah, I mean, that's after they did you right. You're not running a milk mile because of those boys, and you're going to disrespect them.
Hey, 9.5 was a freaking lock. I was happy with that one. But you know what? Even though they hooked me up in that regard, I was disappointed in the AFC Championship in that performance. But there are definitely positives. So I landed in the B range for all these teams. Granted, it's the division in which every team had a winning record, so you guys will see a lot more bad grades coming in as we go throughout this series. But that's just where I landed, man.
Yeah, no, it was definitely impressive that every team in this division had a winning record.
Yeah, that's insanely impressive when you actually look at it.
All right, well, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with some trivia, something we haven't done since
trivia's
August.
back, boys!
What's good, Felters? It's Caleb here, coming to you live from the editing lab. I'm cooking up this week's podcast, but hey, we need some help for next week. We need some trivia questions on the NFC East, so make sure you go on our website. We'll also put a link on our Instagram story. Fill out the form, submit those trivia questions, and hear them answered live on the podcast. Or, not answered because Colin and Reagan don't know ball.
Welcome back in, guys. We're going to start out with some trivia. We did it a lot in the offseason when we were doing the predictions on all the divisions. Back by popular demand, I'd say,
Yeah, it seems to be a fan favorite. So we're going to do some trivia.
Yeah,
a little bit of a different format than this one now that we have this handy bell right here. So whoever thinks they know it can hit the bell. If you don't answer in 3 seconds, goes the other guy. We have Caleb and Drock here asking questions, and they're also the judges.
Colin had to tweak it because I beat his ass so bad in the offseason.
No.
Right,
It was a
the
close.
preseason.
It was a close
What was it,
matchup.
6-3? 6-3?
No, it was 6-4.
We only did 9 because of the 8 divisions in fantasy. Yeah. It
might have been 5-4.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, ladies, I'll go first. So this is, I'm going to give you guys a little bit more than 3 seconds.
Hands on the table. Hand on the table.
Hands down the pants.
Because you might need it, but it should be a layup. Don't prove me wrong. All right. Can you name the top 3 leading rushers in the AFC North this season in order?
Don't just ring it.
Mixon, Najee, Ford.
Incorrect.
Najee, Mixon, Ford.
No.
What was it? It's done.
No,
There's
it's Lamar. Lamar's in there. Lamar's in there. It's Najee, Mixon,
Ring the
Lamar.
bell.
No, he's done. It's done.
It's done. We both got it wrong, yeah. But it's Najee, Mixon, Lamar, right?
That is correct.
Oh, damn it!
Wait, so it doesn't
No,
go
wait,
to
no. I thought it
anybody?
was Mixon had more than Najee, no?
No, Najee had one more.
No!
Wait, so it doesn't go to...
No! It doesn't go to anybody.
No.
So guys,
You guys should just ring it.
Najee Harris ran for 1,035, and Mixon ran for 1,034.
And Lamar.
Yeah,
had
I knew
what,
they were
8?
close.
890, something.
Yeah.
Damn, Ford must have been pretty close, though.
Ford was right behind.
He was 4,
Lamar.
right?
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
I thought you just got the order wrong. I was gonna.
Well, I did.
Yeah,
I technically did get
Yeah,
it
but
wrong.
no Lamar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine are just not like that, so...
Well, that's fine.
In the Steelers' first year in the National Football League, what was their first team name?
No, dude, no. They're all they're trivia questions based on this year.
Yeah, I fucked up.
All right, we have any more now?
Wait, I kind of have one. I kind of have
Dude! I'm like, how'd you get 9 that quick? From
You know
this
what?
season.
All right, let Caleb do a couple. Just start looking at start figuring.
Yeah, I fucked up.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
So
there's only 6 questions.
Oh.
I got some
That's-
good ones.
that's
All right,
okay.
look up some
All right,
quick.
we're gonna do Caleb's 6. You better find some damn questions in that
Okay.
time frame.
all right. I got you guys. So I have some that aren't from this season as well, but they're still relevant.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
they relate to this season.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go with before Stefanski became the coach of the Browns. What was their last winning season? What year? Colin?
2004.
No. Kind of close.
Do you want to say like the?
That was between two years.
Since
so
I'm up
if
next,
it's
do you want me to
either
say
one of
like 24, 25 season, like for say?
What do you mean?
Like he said 2004. So is it like the 2004, 2005 season? You want me to
this?
say?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
No. It's not either of those.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm not. That's
you're
not my
done!
guess.
You're done!
That's not my guess. I was.
You said 2005. You're done.
No, I'm saying like the 2024, 20. Never mind. Just let me. All right, my guess would be. I'm gonna go with 98.
No.
Okay.
Is it 2002?
It's more recent than 2004.
Oh,
So 2011.
Less recent.
7.
All right,
Yes.
it doesn't matter. We're not. Nobody gets credit, but
Shit.
So far you guys are absolutely stinking it up in here. All right, so
That was Drock earlier.
how many of the Steelers' 10 regular season wins this year were by more than one score?
3.
No. It's kind of crazy, actually.
one. It was only the Bengals game.
Correct. You get bonus points for saying it was the Bengals. They beat the Bengals in Week 16, 34-11. Every other game was won by 7 or less points.
Damn, I knew it wasn't a high number.
I have another one that is currently relevant. So, who did the Ravens pick with their first choice in the 2022 draft?
Kyle Hamilton.
Correct.
1-1, baby. 1-1.
You said in the first round.
I got one.
Yeah, the first round. Yeah.
Well, they took 2 guys though.
You want to talk about Kyle Hamilton sliding to number 14 overall in that draft. That is something that just made no sense because everyone knew he was a blue chip prospect coming out. Positional value slid him down the board. Now he's an all-pro, man. Everyone knew he was going to be good. The fact that Ravens got him at 14.
They took two
they took Linderbaum as well.
at the same time?
No, in the first round as well. They had two picks.
I said their first pick.
Oh, I thought you were sitting there, man. Okay. Fuck.
I don't have
Yeah,
one.
eat crow, buddy. You could ask something as simple as like the leading X.
No, it's just a pretty stupid question.
Like
whatever.
the leading
Like
stat,
keep
like
going.
any stat. Who
Which-
led it in the
Which
division?
team scored the most amount of points this season?
The Ravens.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, why
I just said they
count
were
that yet.
first
Don't
in
count.
scoring on the
I'm
pod.
doing research.
Let him do that. That does not count.
2-1!
No, bro. What?
Nah, it
No.
doesn't count. I'm so stupid. So.
Dude, who led this division in this stat?
I
Like,
am trying.
Just let him do it. Just let him do it. Let Caleb keep going.
our marketing guy's struggling.
Yeah, he's struggling.
All right, so this one is not relevant, but I'm going to just go for it. So, who is Art Modell?
Isn't he the former owner of the Steelers?
No.
No, you're thinking of something else. He is the Bengals owner.
No. But he is relevant to the Ravens in some way.
They're super fan. I don't know.
No. So, in 96...
Oh, he brought them from...
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh. Screw you, Art.
Shit.
All right, this might be a long shot, but who was the Ravens head coach when they won the Super Bowl in 2005?
Oh, because that wouldn't have been... That was pre-Flacco. Wow, man. I don't even know. I don't know.
I couldn't even give you a guess, man.
Brian Billick.
Yeah, I
That's
was
the
never
guy.
getting that.
Yeah.
I was never getting that. Now I know who Brian Billick is.
Well, honestly, Jock,
There you go.
you could still bring up some of your old school ones at this point.
Which team had the least amount of explosive plays in the AFC North?
Steelers.
Nope. Bengals.
Correct.
Wow.
Thank you. I was going to say that. Let's go, 2-1. Because I knew it would include the Browns had so many, and obviously the Ravens were insane this year, so thanks.
It was 50-50.
It was a 50-50, and you made it easy on me.
Some of these were.
But that was a good question. No, that was a good question. All right, bro. Whatever you...
I don't know if that
Well,
was a good
It's
question.
just all Ravens, bro. Oh, this one's a good one. Oh, wait, no.
Shoot.
Nah, the stat.
You know, he goes, it's all Ravens, and then we're going to...
I'm
You can
running
just
dry
look
on
up
the
on your
questions.
phone and just look at, like, you just be like, I don't know. You're out of questions?
Mm-hmm.
Dave, just do like...
I'm trying.
No, but I'm saying just take the ones you already picked out at this point.
I don't even know how many we did.
Oh, you want to go back?
Yeah, just go back.
All
It's
right.
fine. We can do it.
Cool. 'Cause
How many have we done so far?
Caleb, how many did you do?
6?
5.
You did
Five.
five,
Are
and
you
then how
keeping
many
track?
did you
Are you
do?
keeping track?
How many questions did you have?
Oh,
That was your
just
first
one,
one.
bro.
All right, so we're at 6 questions right now. I'm up 2-1.
All right, I
and we're
got a
at,
bunch.
this is question number 7.
Going back to old timers. In Pittsburgh's first year in the National Football League, what was their first team name? You ready?
Sure.
Which Baltimore QB was the youngest quarterback in the NFL history to start a playoff game?
Joe Flacco.
Wrong.
Oh! No!
The confidence.
To start a playoff game?
That, you know why I thought that? Because his rookie year, he was in the playoffs, so that's why I just
Lamar
assumed.
Jackson.
Correct. You didn't ring the bell. Incorrect.
Lamar Jackson.
Oh, yeah, because that was the... Damn. All right, 2-2.
Which Raven holds the NFL record for the longest interception return?
Ed Reed.
Wrong.
Oh!
Sorry, correct.
Oh, let's go.
I'm wrong.
All right, 3-2.
All right, this is going to be a good one. How many games did the Bengals lose in their 2022 NFL regular season? No.
4.
Correct.
13-4. I'm up 4-2 now.
I got a couple more.
Yeah, you
What
see
school-
that?
You guys ready? What school did Bengals 2022 or 2020 draft pick T Higgins attend?
Clemson. That was me. That was my meaty paw.
Look how look at him. This is where his
All right.
hand is. I got mine back.
How many games did Joe Burrow start for the Bengals in 2022 regular season? Who's ringing this?
16.
Correct.
Yes! Yes!
I kinda thought that
4-4!
was both of us, but
4-4!
It's 4-4.
Yeah.
All right.
Is
so
this for all the
I-
marbles?
I-
Is this for all the marbles?
I ran out of questions. Should
You ran out?
we find a really good one? Really
Oh,
quick?
we go. It's 4-4.
Yeah, I'll just cut
Find a
this
really
one.
tough one.
dude, we also definitely went way over the. Oh, dude, yeah, because he did 5 and he did 1 He just ripped off.
Oh, now you want to bitch about the number of questions.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm saying we went way over what we agreed on, but it's fine. We're already here, so we'll have to come up next pod. We'll have 12 preset.
Yeah, sorry.
It's fine.
I'm prepared.
It's fine. We'll have a better thing. I'm willing. If I lose this, I lose this. Even though we did like 17 questions.
Yeah, but also we negated one of mine. Baltimore leading.
Well, that. Well, also Dave was like, "Oh, these are all dumb. Like, I'm not gonna say it." And he's like, "Yeah, this one's like, which team?" He was like, "They're all Ravens." And then he's like, "This one's dumb." And then he's like, "Which team led the league in scoring?"
No, he said they're all Ravens after they led the league in scoring. It's just that we just said on the pod 15 minutes ago the Ravens led the league in scoring.
Sorry, guys.
It's all right, boys. You know, you want me to find one?
No.
I won't look at the answer.
All right. Well, this is great podcasting, but.
Yeah, thanks to our marketing guy.
Name the 4 teams they have scored.
No.
The Lions.
We'll get better going forward. Because you could just be like, which wide receiver in the AFC South had the most yards?
Yeah, you literally could have said,
yards.
like,
Yeah,
which wide receiver had the most
No,
yards.
no.
You know,
Don't
like,
think. Don't think about what the...
Like, which running back / wide receiver had the most yardage output in one game. Like,
Yeah.
shit like that, you know?
We'll be prepped better for the next
ChatGPT
7.
wasn't giving me a response.
Amari Cooper, most receiving yards in a game, 265.
Nice.
That's it. I won.
You won the question you
Yeah.
asked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they can't think of one.
No, we can't.
Reagan, are you excited for your wings on Friday?
I mean, yeah, bro, it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to do push-ups, slug down some wings, drink some brews.
What do you think is going to be the biggest roadblock for you? I think it might be
Push-ups.
the push-ups for you.
Yeah, push-ups, bro. I got an ironclad gut.
Yeah, you're definitely going to do better than me on the wings, that's for sure. And the beer, I'd say.
Push-ups are going to suck cramping up after drinking all
Are you
that
planning
beer.
on eating Friday at all before that?
Yeah, I'll have a full-course meal. I'll probably have some wings for breakfast.
I'll
just
have a
get
late
the taste.
lunch. I'll have a late lunch by the time it hits 7 o'clock. I'll have a
Maybe I'll have like a
headache.
Chipotle bowl at like 10 in the morning.
That's an awful idea. Having Chipotle before that?
And blow up the toilet.
Dude.
All right, we might have to just end this podcast.
No, hold on, it's coming.
Bro, just look at like any stats and just...
Yeah, it's not as easy as you think it is, brother.
What are you doing, you bird brain?
All right, I got one.
All
All right. Now
let's end this.
All right, we're just going to go until one of us gets it.
Yeah, we have to.
Okay.
I should probably keep looking.
So, where does Lamar Jackson sit all-time ranking in terms of QB rushing yards?
We're just going to keep rattling off numbers back and forth.
4.
Bang!
Oh!
You knew that?
Nope, but I'm gonna guess.
You just guessed. Honestly, that's a great guess, dude. Respect. What am I gonna do with that? He just guessed 4th and he got it. I mean, you're up 1-0.
I figured he wasn't like 2. I imagine like 1 and 2 were too high, and I was like, it's got to be 3, 4, or 5.
He has 5,258 rushing yards in his career, and number 1, which
Cam
you probably
Newton?
know,
Cam Newton.
Michael Vick,
Oh,
Vick,
okay.
you moron.
6,109. So Lamar could break that.
Yeah,
during his
who
career.
else is in front of him? I imagine
He will break that.
Cunningham and Newton are also in front of him.
Newton is second with 5,628, and Russell Wilson 5,307.
That boy
Wow.
got retired soon.
Wow.
Wow. All right, guys, that wraps up the pod. That trivia goes to Reagan, 1-0, but we got 7 more.
Trivia King returns. What?